Of course, the actions of the government shows that they are not aware, they are not consulted. It means the people are kept far away from the government of Rivers State, which is undemocratic, which is authoritarian. So I want to appeal to the governor that as he stands right now, most of his decisions and policies are going the opposite way of good governance. If we can be transparent, if we can be accountable, if our budget does not carry the project we ought to undertake, it's really worrisome. I think currently as it stands, Rivers State government is not interested in redevelopment, because Dulisi has asked question that if we are to judge development, why don't we ask ourselves what is happening to poverty, what is happening to unemployment, what is happening to inequalities. Currently there is severe poverty in Rivers State, and we are not seeing anything happening to tackle this poverty. Unemployment at Rivers occupy number 3rd in Nigeria. We are not seeing anything to reduce the rate of unemployment. We are not seeing the inequality level that is being breached. So what form of government is this governor running?
It should relocate.
So we are asking today that as long as I am here, I am a citizen here.
You complain all the time about Nigeria. Why have you left Ghana? Go to Ghana. You go to Ghana.
I am a free citizen.
Go to Ghana or Cameroon. Why would you complain? You complain about Nigeria every morning. You wake up every morning after you finish with your charcoal. The next thing you do is complain about Nigeria.
I am here. I am not complaining, but I'm trying to call the attention of the governor. Because as it stands today, if Rivers State is thriving well economically and all that, I will be very happy because I will benefit from it. So that is why we are calling the attention of the government. Personally, I am talking to Governor Wike that is going the opposite way of good governance.
That's an advert right there. So
not, that is
an advert right
there. This year,
I am paying tax.
Rivers State government.
I am paying tax. And beside that, VAT is also there. VAT is also there. Rivers State government is benefiting from it. So, however, I think on a serious note, Governor Wike, flyovers are good, but as it stands now, they are not the number one priority of Rivers. Through your policies, you can direct the actions of the youths, the children, and the elders of Rivers State. If by peradventure you came with a policy that will take them from the street, agriculture is there. You can do that. You can invest money. You can bring grants and loans for people to go into farming. And by so doing, we also reduce the cost of living in Rivers State. Because right now we are depending on the food that will come from the north, from the east, even from other states within the south for us to feed. While we have variable lands everywhere in Rivers State that we can actually invest in and get people out of the state and engage and also improve their economic base. If we are not doing this, we are just building flyovers, empowering Julius Berger, who will later take the money to their state and give us few currency here. I don't think we are helping the economy of Rivers State. That is for by my area of concern. Right. And as for the curfew, Irumokoro, I will give Governor Wike thumb up. He have done well. Thumbs up for him because the activities within that Irumokoro is an eyesore. There was a day I was passing through that road. I saw Julius Berger workers quarreling with traders there, begging them for their motors to park, for their vehicle to pass through. I was very angry. I thought I've seen it all. I never knew that was just a supporting. Another that was passing through that place, where Julius Berger came with their asphalt. To lay the asphalt on the ground was a big problem. They started begging and asking them, using their tractor to threaten some of the traders to give way for them to pour their asphalt. They are even saying, no, we want to fight for our belly, we want to fight for this. Your belly should not constitute nuisance to other persons in the state. If you think you must fight for your belly, then you must control yourself. If other people decided to do what you are doing right now, you will not have space to trade out your market. Roads is not market. There are areas that you're supposed to go to do your whatever thing you are doing. I believe the governor just came with that idea of courtesy, but the major target is these traders who are actually constituting nuisance within the Irumokoro. To pass through, if I pedestrian, it's very difficult. They will leave the side and come to trade on the main road. Is that how we behave?
Nope.
Even if an Esau, your belly shouldn't control your brain in this 21st century. Esau did his own, and he landed him becoming the second child instead of the first that he ought to have been. I think this policy, this curfew is good. People are allowed to walk through. The security personnel are there. They are not harassing anybody. But if you are a trader, I urge them to arrest that person and confiscate that good. We can't constitute a nuisance in Rivers State. It's bad.
Well, the governor had said it's not traders. The banning on the traders is a separate announcement.
I say what for my view.
What he did say was because of cult-related activities going on there.
I need to say something.
All right, Emmanuel, what do you want to say?
You see, the cult, the rather curfew, I forgot something about it. But then I think, for me, the 24-hour curfew imposed on areas around the Rumokoro and all that is high-handed, I must say. See,
Yes.
even though it may be necessary in terms of curbing out the activities of cult groups, but I want to find out, why is it that we cannot use our law enforcement agents to achieve what we want in terms of what involves these enforcement of law? Must there be a 24-hour curfew? Now you reopen school today. There are people from Rumibo, there are people from Rumo Okuta, and all the rest of them that follow that Rumokoro and then pass the area that is under curfew and attend school. And these are children that have been at home for a long time. And the period for these, I think they are going to close by December. The period is very brief. Now, they won't be going to school. How can they be passing all that area? If there are no other area, for instance, somebody coming from Rumo Okuta, is the person going to pass where? To follow? Good. How is the person going to do? Now, people like this our area now, to go to Rumokoro, it is either you pass through SAS and all the rest of them. And there's a menace of hold up there. Now, if you should follow these across the Mporu Ocean, because that's what the ocean is there.
Yes.
Now, if you must cross that ocean, now it will be quicker. But there's curfew. And I think is it also GC or whatever that is ongoing or whatever?
GC.
Good. How will people suffer? There are people coming who have their centers within that Rumokoro, and there are people perhaps who have in the Choba, all the rest of them. So all these things, how will they maneuver?
Honestly, I passed through there this morning, even white coming. People are allowed to pass. The securities are not arresting anybody.
Okay, they're allowed to drive through?
Yes, I went through that place.
Oh, people are allowed?
Yes, they are not harassing anybody.
So then it wasn't
But
very clear.
People are allowed to pass.
Exactly.
The traders, people are allowed to pass.
Listen, I discussed with somebody because if you listen to the governor broadcast,
yes.
it's about people. No movement.
That's what coffee
Good.
is.
That's coffee now.
By tomorrow, that people were saying that the security will say by tomorrow, it may be tougher. But then, that's where I'm coming now.
Okay.
Let the government leave that curfew thing immediately. And push all those traders away.
Of
It's
course,
madness.
they can't be constituting
Honestly
nuisance
speaking, like what
for
anyone
the
said,
public.
it is, if you are going through that, it's madness. Sometimes I just say, do we really have government in this place?
So, sorry, sir.
So-
On this traffic at that Rumokoro that you are mentioning, right? I don't really use that, so I don't know much about what goes on. But you see, when we had tax force,
It is worse than all you mean market.
okay, when we had tax force, when
That
the Governor
roundabout.
Wike tax force was operating, would they have been on the road? Now, when we say government don't act, if it goes back to bring them back, and they begin to confiscate their goods and do that, we'll still start shouting. So why can't people just behave normal?
They attend
They
in the
were
way
going
that
beyond that.
They were going beyond
Now-
that.
So the people now who
what
are
you are
blocking
saying
the
now-
road now, are they not normal people,
The-
human
the-
beings?
the-
So
the-
why
That's
they
why
do
we are
it?
saying they are
You
constituting
see,
nuisance.
what we are saying now is that this thing should be permanent. The issue of court,
The traffic?
using court people, that is not an alibi.
Wait, what I
Because-
don't understand with what Emmy was saying earlier on was when he said the traders were becoming a nuisance.
This is
Yes.
what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm saying.
That
So to take care of the traders there, is it a curfew that will fix
no,
the problem?
Yeah, it
that's
shouldn't be
exactly
by-
what I'm
Once
saying.
you leave the curfew, won't they all
It
come
should-
back?
it
That's what
shouldn't
I'm
by
saying. Now,
curfew,
the
but
point there is that
for now,
they should leave
we
the
know the
curfew.
governor.
Because the people within that area are suffering it.
Please.
They know how to go against the courtists. If you know that there are courtists.
Yes.
Now, ensure that that market does not really. And there's something that happened on Saturday.
I mean, the
After
people,
Ramadan
there are
junction.
people in that area
It's not
whose
just this
only
place.
livelihood is that
We are
access to market.
we are calling the government
Yeah.
everywhere in Port Harcourt. This trading of the road should stop.
We agree.
On Saturday, 4 persons were crushed. And
Wow.
Who are selling at that medium? That this there's one car chasing one other. This mini bus. And they bam, inside the road. 4 persons were crushed because they are selling on the road, at the middle of the road. Even these keke people at that East-West road, we just stay at the middle of the road and be loading passengers. One trailer is coming. Local government is doing virtually nothing. The state government is also doing nothing.
Oh.
So all that we will do that, all this thing, both job everywhere, this street trading or trading on the road should, in fact, if there's no law, then
I think
there is.
See, if there's an avenue for where these traders can stay, I would think that yes, go ahead and ban the street trading. If you have already created an avenue where the traders can stay, where they ought to be, then please, by all means, go ahead and ban it. You cannot deny them of those opportunities, of those facilities from where they can do their selling and you go buy from. And then they have decided that, wherever we see people passing this way, even though I'm not in agreement with that, but you have not provided the right solutions to it. You can't ban them. When you ban them from street trading, where are you asking them to go to?
Let me tell you, most of them.
When you ban them,
most of them live inside. I was passing through. That was 2 weeks
live
ago.
inside where?
Joe, there's market around that issue. Honestly speaking, I looked at inside the market, it was empty.
That's my point. If there is a market, I agree with what I'm saying. There must first of all be a market. Make sure that you direct them to that. Let me finish. Okay, thank you. You direct them to the market. You direct them to the market. Not that you ban them. You don't have a facility where they can go and sell their wares from.
They should sell on the road.
And then what do you want them to do?
Even at Darumokoro, there is a mini market and there is the other market.
The mini market, how many people can you take?
There is the other big market and there is a mini market. If you go to that market, if you go to that mini market, go inside, you will see that the market is empty. Inside will be empty. All of them want to trade on the road.
On the road.
You just raised a valid point. Sorry, I was trying to interrupt you. You just raised a valid point. Providing trading space for them. Shops, stores, whatever we call them. Now, there are some of these market that has shops. And it's the market, the shops themselves are empty sometimes. When you go to these traders and ask them, why are you on the road? Is it that people will not come inside to buy? They will tell you the shops are expensive.
Simple.
Yes,
and this is true. If you list, like I say, it's a valid point that you need to provide.
Shops are supposed to go for 10,000.
Yes.
Somebody has bought it and sold it to somebody. Sold it to
Exactly.
somebody. They're now going for 150.
I want to ask the question:
Sorry.
who controls those markets?
Sorry.
It's government.
It's government. Now, if government controls the market, let's say local government.
Local government.
Yes, we hold local government responsible. Why is it that the shops are high, that they cannot afford it?
Sure.
These are things we should know.
Yes. So
then when we know it, we should fix it. That if this is the problem, government, this is when the state government should even set up a committee that will come with a recommendation.
I wish
this
these kind of things are addressed. I mean, I remember the international market here at
Arupo.
Yes. These issues came forth. They said they will investigate.
Yes.
How is it? These shops are supposed to go for 10,000. No. How can you say
they are still investigating?
That's investigating.
and that's just one. There are
just
so
one.
many shops, empty shops built by the government, lying fallow. Nobody is using them. They are just there. Nobody is even talking. So you see, one of the factors why they rush to the street is the fact that they cannot afford to pay for this. There's something that
I agree with you here. I mean, but then when you're compelled with going to find a way to make a living, and then coming back to your crying kids, what do? You stand
when you see the
there
market,
is
there are
something
still space for some of them to trade.
Sorry, there's something that
But they will not do that.
When he came
some
into
of
office.
them are already portrayed their ways. They are carrying some of them in
It's just granite.
yes.
Now,
And then
what
they
he
are told to pay this and that.
What Sheyi did was this shop.
Okay, one moment, because she's been saying Sheyi Makinde for like 3 times now, so allow her to finish on the Sheyi Makinde.
These shops, there were empty shops built by the former governor. And then when he came in, he saw the people selling on the street. I was like, why are you on the street? They told him that the shops are too expensive, that they cannot afford it. What he did was to reduce the cost to see that these people are pushed back into the market. So I wish that someone is listening who have Governor Wike's ear to actually get him to consider these things. I'm sure when he drives around, he could actually do that. He does that sometimes. Just go, you do see that these shops are empty. Like Annie said, a lot of people here are artisans. There are small things they do. That's how they survive. Okay, so you cannot, because the more you chase them, they will always find a way to come out again. It's been this pattern. You chase them today. By the time there's no task force, they will jump back.
They're back there.
And those of us who also go to patronize these traders, we can also help. Listen, if you go to why would you even want to buy goods that are displayed on the roadside with all the dust and everything on it? Why don't you go inside the market? Because if you're not buying from them and you go into the market to buy from those who are inside, some of them who actually have this shop, because there are some people who has a shop, they will still find someone to go keep their goods outside because they believe that some of us are too lazy to come inside the market. So these are some of the things that the government really needs to take time on the study why these things are going on.
We got your thoughts on that. Thank you very much. Let me open the phone line stand so you can be part of the conversation. Earlier on, we spoke about Nigeria's move into a recession. We have recorded a second contraction to a GDP, and that's an indicator that we are in a recession. And, well, everybody's here in the studio obviously said we saw this coming, and we're expecting that the government will have, applied the necessary brakes so that we don't end up here. But, well, here we are now. What next? What are the necessary adjustments that we need to see carried on now to indicate that they want to steer us right back on the right path? Obviously, with the advent of recession, we can just imagine that things will get gloomier for the average Nigerian. Away from that, we spoke on Real Talk on the 7th flyover. I like it. 7 is,
number of completion.
7 is a number of completion. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's where it stops. 7, the 7th bridge, and then, of course, speaking also on the curfew imposed in the Rumo Care area. Rumo Nodu or Rumo Nodu?
You're asking the wrong person.
Okoronodo.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okoronodo.
Yes.
What does that mean? Okoronodo. Okoro, what happened to him?
No, it's the name of
sitting
that
down.
family.
He should. They need him there. There's a bread levy there. So, so when he gets to Kogi, all he comes with his bread. All right. The phone lines are also open 0810-951-0951 or 0817-000951. Those are the numbers for you to dial to get through. And let's get to hear from you concerning these two issues that we've had. Don't forget that sending text messages is also accepted. Text messages and WhatsApp to this number 07019339962. And on Facebook, Today95.1 FM. Or you simply check www.facebook.com/Today95.1 FM. Hello.
Hello. Good morning. I'm
Yes.
Bolaji calling from Mama.
Bolaji, good to have you. Go ahead.
See, Annie, there's this portion of the scripture that says that affliction shall not arise the second time.
Indeed.
If as a government you have seen the first phase of recession and you have folded your arms and slided into the second phase, then you're not worthy to lead a people, you're not worthy to lead a nation. Then you should question those that are around you, those policymakers, because you people have failed the country. We cannot be sliding into a second recession in less than 4 years, and you think it's good, but your budget you can't cut down. The cost of running government is on a high, and masses are meant to suffer. People can no longer fly the federal roads. No tangible project is going on, and you think you are doing well. There is God that will oversee. On the issue of River State and the curfew, and I think we keep complaining. If the tax force are here to work, we complain. If the tax force are the people who they are controlling, who are misbehaving. Something happened to somebody at Arumokore today. My brother-in-law was do it by tout and Curtis. They even showed him penance to take out all his belongings. So if it's on that ground that the Curtis they are putting a coffee there for a while. Let's suffer for a while and enjoy it later.
All right,
the issue of human capital development, we get to look at other ways of developing the country. I've said it before now that these flyovers are for the judges. You give judges money to build a house, you give them money to buy a car, you're not doing a road for them. Whereas we are sliding higher and higher on the ratio of unemployment. It doesn't speak good of the government that has the interest of the people at hand. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you for your comments. All right, let's move on. Let's see if we can take another call here. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good morning, Madam Annie.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Good News. I'm calling from Transamadi.
Good news from Transamadi. Great to have you. Go ahead.
There's something I want to say. Somebody told you that they said snake were 2005. It's a big lie. I'm from over yesterday. My brother-in-law is selling snake. And I asked him, how much are you selling here? He told me 3,700. And for 2 months, he has no market in the shop because there is no place he can buy from. That's what I want to say. When it takes 4 years, I send my junior boy to go and buy the tomato, the packet tomato. I gave him 100 naira. He went out and come back and said, it's 170. A packet I used to buy 15 naira. But for here, you can see it's 100 naira. This packet, this oil that you
100
100 naira. It's 150.
It's 100 and something.
No, it's not that it's
I mean, you're saying Owerri is not selling for 2.5. Meanwhile, you're saying sachet tomato. What is that? What she said? He sells for 100. They're disputing that here. They're saying that's not true. It's 150 here.
Yes,
Gino 150.
Are you serious?
So I don't know which market. So maybe the markets are separate. Maybe where my person bought his 2.5 is different from where your brother is selling his at 3.7.
This is a general disease in Nigeria as a whole. It's a disease that I cannot control anymore. It's only God who can solve it. No, even the food of the
God didn't create Nigeria alone.
All right then.
The assessment is how much in the water?
She said 3.7.
Okay.
Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Hello.
Yeah, this is Pastor Isaiah George from Buguma and Kalabala. Yes. Madam Annie, good morning. Okay, good morning to all your guests.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Madam Annie, let me blow you this morning with the truth.
Don't blow me with the truth, please. No,
okay.
I refuse.
Yes, see.
Don't say yes. I said no. You will not blow me.
Okay, no problem.
You don't get that one.
Yes. The point is that the president is not to be blamed in the second round of recession that we are being told that we are into now, because
Blame me.
I think the president has done his best. What we are having today is the problem of the globe. The globe suffered a lot of recession. If you go to Western world today, because of this corona, so many countries slided. The economy of many countries collapsed. And if you listen to the aide to the vice president, who has also come out to tell us that there is restoration on the way, looking at some things that have been put in place to really revamp the economy. So we should remember that when the president took over office the first time, the economy slid into recession as a result of the poor management of the previous government. Where Okonjo-Iweala told us that Nigeria should bet away that the country is already collapsing into recession. So
yeah, but I mean, it's expected that even with that knowledge, you begin to take the right steps to ensure you don't go in that path. Because somebody trumpets it doesn't mean you just go back and relax and say, let's embrace this.
It's a presidential spokesperson.
There is no realization, just like what Party told me. What Party told me, I said, the president and his economic team should look into what Party told me. I said that a quick diversification of the economy is what is needed. And then let the jumbo of the National Assembly and our leaders who are taking jumbo pay.
We got your thoughts there.
Things can work better.
Thank you very much for your comments. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Annie, good morning.
Morning. This is DK, right?
No, Mr. Bright.
Mr. Bright.
Bright.
Okay, sounds so much like DK. Well, Mr. Bright, go ahead.
Thank you. River State Governor constructing the 7th flyover in Port Harcourt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said it's going to run through Ikoku Road.
Azikiwe.
And that's another thing. You know, when the governor came in, he has been counting Rotimi Amechi of citing White Elephant project. Now, Ikoku Road to Azikiwe Road, what is the volume of traffic there?
Good question.
That Azikiwe Road from Ikwere Road runs directly to where they call the River State University back gate. No vehicle passes through that. Dr. Bidemba could bear witness for this. No vehicle drives through that gate for over 15 years now.
For more than that.
It's only pedestrians. So where are you going to? If you're to fly from Ikoku, where are they going to? And as we speak, if you go to that place,
that's what they're going.
as we speak, if you go to that place now, there are no traffic. There is usually no traffic problem at that Azikiwe and Ikoku. Apart from those who are using Ikwere Road to Ikoku. So as I said, people are crossing over and finding it difficult. And there are no major facilities or activities going on that Azikiwe Road. What is the essence of citing flyover at that place? So I think that's going to be the White Elephant project is going to do for us. Dr. CJ said it sometime when he was in the studio. Maybe he's about to give us one White Elephant project as governors do.
As governors are want to do. All right,
yes. Then on the coffee at Rumokoro, I think there is no need for that curfew. There is no need for you to impose curfew, 24 hours curfew. Now, that also brings the technical ability of Julius Berger into question. If Julius Berger is complaining of not working in between, I don't see anything wrong for Julius Berger to do the remnants of the work left to be done there at night.
In the night, yes.
Now, considering that these places have been locked down for about 1 year, the required flyover you people see was constructed in 2010. There was no day the road was completely blocked up for 1 month.
No day.
Eleme Junction, you know how notorious that place is. Eleme Junction, the mayor had started it. No day Eleme Junction was blocked for 1 week for people not to pass. Ajit flyover, I was going to school from Romokuta to USC then because we had an issue that we were sent, all of us were sent out of the hostel. Ajit flyover was constructed by Revigo. There was no day that place was blocked for people not to use for 1 day. Romokuta has been blocked for 1 year plus now. That road is all the persons coming from Onitsha, Uwere, coming from Bayelsa, Delta, Ishopu, Ichie, all those are their access roads into Port Harcourt. And you have locked it down and you are imposing a copy for that place for another 2 weeks. It brings the government's ability, capacity and planning techniques into question. Then Julius Berger's technical capacity to handle such magnitude of trouble, it also brings it into question. There is no reason for you to impose a curfew for that place. As we speak now, there are no serious security breaches that are being reported at that place. The only reason why the governor is doing that is because his plan is to commission that in by December, and that 2 weeks is for Julius Berger.
All right, then. Go your thoughts here, Bright. Thank you so much. We've got to let you go.
To be used in governance.
All right, thanks. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Good morning.
Gift, good morning. Good to have you.
Yes, good morning to all the guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gift.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gift.
Congratulations as a doctor today. Yes.
Thank you.
God bless you. I want to disagree with everybody in the studio concerning the flyover.
Yes.
I am praying for this to take place. We want the hold up. Every complaint that is happening in River State is what Bayelsa are looking for. We are begging for this type of solution.
That Bayelsas are begging for it doesn't mean that the positions they had here is something for you to decide. You want it, then it's a different thing. The people here in the River State who are in the studio who don't want it. How is that any different?
Ew.
Call back if you can, dear gifts. Oh, his mentor is still here. Hello, today 95.1 FM, yeah?
Morning.
Good morning, what's your name?
I'm Kingsley calling from Aji.
Kingsley, good to have you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my contribution is on the coffee at Rumokoro. Yeah, you know, if you look at the whole thing and the way our leaders treat the people they say they are leading, you see that from one state, they don't even have us in their minds. They do things the way they like. Because this thing now, you see that they are not even professionals. They are not well grounded in.
Hold the call back if you can. Sorry, let me just get back to text messages here. And we have this that says, good morning, Annie and your guests. Annie, how do we expect a man who hasn't managed any of his own business and made money for himself to come and manage the business of an entire nation and make money for the nation? You see why Nigeria has been wallowing in recession since 2015? That's from James from Port Harcourt. Annie, good morning. Governor Wike is competing with his friend, the governor of Ebonyi State, who have constructed 12 flyovers and have 5 under construction. Ifeanyi, you send that in from Ajib. Another here says, good morning to you all. I'm a very engineer here from Port Harcourt. Let the truth be told, the curfew will affect the innocent people who they are telling us that within 2 weeks, the evil activities will stop. Good morning all. Governor Wike to build 7th flyover is misplaced priority. The curfew within Rumokoro is not ideal. Other measures should have been taken. As for recession, proper adjustments should be done and we shall be back strong. Lorenzo, the light from Iche. Emmy, when you want to take swipe at Rivers government, you use Otapia. But when you want to take a swipe at federal government, you use Palma Rosa. Why, Emmy? Good morning, Annie. The curfew imposed in Rumokoro is far from cultism and security breach. It's another technique of Governor Wike's administration to get traders off the road. If he's fighting insecurity, what is wrong with using security agents as he did in Oyibo? On the Ikoko Azikiwe flyover, it's another way to quit traders on Ikoko. George B. from Rukboku, sent that in. Incompetency of this administration led us to this second recession. All these excuses are not acceptable to me. Thanks. Cosmos Onya from Eleme. Good morning, Annie, or Guy Man, or the guests, Annie. What economic value is a flyover to Rivers income? And how has it positively affected our people? Annie, if you inject money for one flyover into agric in a year, you will see massive employment and harvest. Why waste Rivers money on pillars when there are good things to use your money on? Annie, help me advise this government, please. I'm tired of the activities. Eze Dan from Rumek, can you send that in? Another here says, good day. In as much as I support the government stand on street trading, declaring curfew because of cultism is an outright disregard on our rights. And also, the governor knows that flyovers do not have a direct economic effect on the people without human capital development. We have flyovers, yet we are hungry, jobless, despite all the potential. That's from Braid. And another here says, finally, Annie, we are quick at heaping blames at the federal government for all that's not working for the good of you and I in the social and economic space. And these guys keep acting as if we're damn prisoners to their savagery. Does the governor listen to his executives, or he's assessed them and found them wanting? And the state legislature, a mere quaint fossils in law-grabbing or law-making garbs in the 21st century? You've announced school resumption today, and you've slammed a 24-hour curfew for 2 weeks in an area that's a gateway to some of the schools you've asked to resume today. Finally, Annie, 7 is a universal figure, but Abuja and her 36 states, including my own River State, with her 7th flyover, mathematically take us to the 8th wonder of the world. It's a complex case study indeed. This is from Friday Olu for Choba. Thank you, Friday. On the 7th flyover, I think it's one too many. There are other projects begging for attention in our lives. We should prioritize our needs to equitably distribute scarce wealth and resources. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. All right, do call back if you can. Annie, please do some investigation. It will surprise you to know that 80% of those trading, I'm sure is what you meant to say, along the road, their parents are also inside the market selling. Some of the traders some of the trades are also using the market stalls as warehouse and using the roadside as market. It's not because of the cost of the stalls. This is from Elda. Well, I guess that's also something that happens.
Yes.
Good morning, Annie and your guest in the studio. I'm Minaso Tonye, texting from Isiaka Island, Okrika. The incessant coal clashes in the state, especially the affected area, is so alarming. So I think the dusk to dawn curfew imposed in Okoronodu and its adjoining communities is a step in the right direction. Thumbs up, Governor Wike. It's not dusk to dawn, it's 24 hours. So there's no time to step out. Hello?
Good morning, Annie.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
Mr. Chima, great to have you. Go ahead.
And let me congratulate Mr. President for the kind reception under his administration as a military government and also under democracy. Congratulations to Mr. President. It's unfortunate. Now, Annie, when this government came into power, we thought we were going to see different things altogether. But up to now, nothing has changed in this administration. We thought we were going to see a reduction in the cost of governance. We thought we were going to see diversification, but what we are seeing is just a leap service in terms of diversification. Now, what is diversification? Is to put more money through another means, even through agriculture. And I am ashamed, crying for this nation. Where do we go from here? The state government, what are their work? What are the state government doing to salvage the situation that we find ourselves? The local government, is it just to send a commissioner for finance at the end of every month to go and collect money? Anybody can do that, even a child can do that and send a commissioner to collect money and there's a good project. Is that only the work of state government? Honestly, we are disappointed by every administration, the successive one that we find ourselves. And it is very hard for me even to make my business, everything is dormant because of the government we find ourselves. And I am crying here, seriously.
Sorry, brother.
Honestly, I am crying for this administration.
Right.
This was not what we bargained
It is
for.
well with
We
your
thought
soul.
a man of integrity was coming. We thought that an angel was coming. But what we are seeing, and he's going that way.
That was a wrong
The
thought.
devil you know is better than the
Angel was
angel that you don't know.
All right, then.
That's where Nigeria find ourselves today.
Thank you very much. Got your thoughts. You're welcome. All right, this is KM Hospital. Good morning, everyone. Annie, I get confused when I hear economic team. COVID-19 has lasted for 2 months now. It's 12 months, not 3 quarters. If you have economic team, then why are the government taking loans for massive infrastructures rather than for human capital development? All right. Annie, good morning. Please, what will Governor Wike do that will make Emmy have rest of mind? Emmy, they say you should be calming down. You criticize everything he does and choose to support federal government.
No, but he gave him a
You
thumb
blame
up.
politics. You blame
No,
politics
because
too much. Okay.
they've those bad boys.
The price of the shops is
collected
not the
his phone
problem. The
before.
problem is that selling along the road gives them more sales. All right, we got your thoughts too on that. This says, good morning, Annie. I'm tired and disappointed in this state and country in general. They should reshuffle or end this country once and for all. George, real love from Ilele. Where do you end the country? Like, is there a plug or a switch or a fuse?
Maybe kill the country.
Awa says, I doubt if not for personal financial benefits or ethnic sentiments will Governor Wike be embarking on the construction of these flyovers. This money will have been invested in reviving agriculture and other economic sectors. Having done some basic flyovers, I expected the governor to have extended development to other parts of the state. This is the reason why most people are condemning the secrecy that surrounds the River State budget, because if the budget is reachable, we will know if these numerous bridges were captured in this year's budget. It's obvious that the said Executive Council decision is a one-man idea, and I hope the governor will not be remembered as an ethnic champion.
A project so that you be remembered.
We remember.
You don't need to be remembered. You're remembered. You're doing
I actually
projects
made it
because you
not
want to
beautiful.
remember the bridges are beautiful. Maybe this is going to allow more people to come into River
if you
State.
see, if,
The priorities are
When
right.
they imagine the street lights in River State at night, I'm going to River State.
how many businesses were shut down in doing the garrison flyover?
How many have sprung up because it has been completed?
In my
wouldn't know.
community
I
today,
wouldn't know
Julius
right
Berger
now.
is
I wouldn't
constructing
know.
a flyover they have not shut down any road. People are passing.
Your community. How many people are in your community? How many people are in your community? How many people are in your
That
community?
road, that see, my house is at the center.
How many people are in your community?
It's at the center. That road is a very busy road. They are not shutting anything down. They are not shutting anything down.
No, but you see, I agree with Emmy here.
They are not
Because
shutting
somebody
anything
called
down.
and mentioned that here in River State we've had constructions going on, and the communities around those areas were not shut down, unlike what we have seen in this time around. But I said, I guess the reason why we have this necessity would be what's going on in that Rumokoro area.
Nowhere was shut down because of the construction.
Yeah.
The Rumokoro was madness.
It is
No,
blocked.
the element of madness. Element at that time was element of madness at that
Rumokoro has not been motorable for the
Element
past 1
before it
year.
became what it is was not madness then too.
And you don't go through that place, so.
No, I'm
don't go
asking you,
through
was
that
element
place.
not also a mad place there at that
No,
time?
you see, let me tell you, a lot of things.
Yeah, you're supposed to answer me whether it's a yes or a no.
No. The point is that what happened, their truck cannot even move. They are just dodging people and not. I've witnessed it even last
It's
week.
because the road is even blocked. I just remember now. It's because the road is even blocked. Assuming the road people have access, cars are moving. There will be shade at the center of the road. You
Which
just
one
block.
that's not blocked?
You block
When they
it.
are doing
The one in my
construction.
car, I'm telling you, it's not blocked. You
Construction
block Rumoholu. You block Rumoholu.
Which are-
You block this
which
side.
are
You
taxes?
block. You just
It's
block.
okay.
This is.
All right, I don't know whether there is a functional
Talk
House
about
of
that
Assembly
handlet
and
and the
advisor
proper
to Governor Wike, because his action seems to be none. People and pensioners are crying every day, yet this man is looting our money in the name of flying over Madison. Another flyover closed another road. Governor Wike and Berger closed artillery August 4th to reopen September 4th. We're entering December, still no hope for opening the CIWA side we've been using. This is from Chooks. Governor Wike Oyibo Express Junction, please, as a matter of urgency, needs a flyover as a gateway to Port Harcourt.
Exactly.
Port Harcourt Flour Mill, gas industry, Transamadi, Dunlop Tire, Michelin Tire, Gary Processing Plant Oyibo, fish farms and banana plantation all need urgent attention for youth employment, under which budget is he flying flyovers. That's from Mr. Stan.
From the state budget.
And then we'll take one last one. Good morning, Annie. The name Okoro Nodu is the short name for Rumo Okoro and Rumo Odumaya. That is a way of calling the two communities together. Thank you so much. Okoro and Odu in Odumaya. So Okoro Nodu. I get it.
Odo, not Odo.
Odu. I've put it
Okoro
Odu.
is sitting
Me,
down.
I have said it is Odu.
I will change your name.
So he said it's Odo.
Okoro.
Odo.
Okoro Nodo.
Okoronodo. So I'm going to put an R behind it in my head. Okoronodo. That's about it. Annie, the only reason why our governor and government is doing anyhow and anything that pleases them is because we haven't had a governor or top politician chilling in Kirikiri prison or sentenced for life for misappropriation of funds. Until then, nothing will change. I blame the judiciary for everything. George Real Love from LLA. You send that in. We've got to go. It's 11:32. Dr. Obidima. It was good having you in the studio.
And I talk about the economy of the nation. Let government at the center, we're in emergency, should call for a meeting. The state governors. Let him meet with the state governors. I mean President Buhari and his economic team. Put heads together. Know how we'll get out of this worst recession in the last 39 years that may take us to a depression.
Yes.
And
yes.
yeah, if nothing is done, and that's where we're heading to. People are groaning, people are crying, people are in pains. The unemployment is so high, about 33% now. The inflation rate is so high. How can people bear this?
All right, then.
So, for River State, I'm calling on the governor to leave the curfew on Rumokoro area.
Okay.
And let the security people be there 24 hours. Chase out those traders out of the place and also know how to get the cultists.
All right, got your thoughts there, Dr. Obidima, journalist, international affairs analyst, JP. Thank you. Vivian, talk to us.
when it comes to the issue of recession or our economic state as a country, one of the things we have failed to have this conversation on is the fact that most of the states in Nigeria depend on oil revenue from the South states. Most of these states are not producing anything that could actually sustain their states. So while we talk about what the president needs to do or what his economic team needs to do, we also need to shift the conversation to begin to demand for independent states. If Abia State, for instance, knows that it needs to produce something so that it could run the state, they will have something to run the state. If you are not waiting for something to come in from the federal government, allocation, like we say, they will begin to think outside of the box. So while we shout on the president, you need to do something, you and your economic team, that's okay. But we need to begin to look at our governors, state governors, and begin to demand for them to do something too.
All right.
It's not just about the federal government. Once again, the curfew in Okoro Nodu. Okay. Honestly, Governor Wike needs to look into that. There are human beings who are living there. They are all not cultists. You cannot be punishing all of them because of the activities of a few people. Get the police in. The Nigerian police knows how to fish these people, and they know how to do. That's what their job is. So this 24-hour curfew, please. He really needs to take a step back and do something better than having imposing 24-hour curfew.
All right, then.
There.
Got your thoughts on that? Vivian Douglas, media and communication consultant. Emi Fiahaga.
Diversification will be very effective if every state realizes their area of comparative advantage. Federal government run the macroeconomy and can only provide the policies that will open up. While the state, if we are to diversify through agriculture, the agriculture reside more in the state because the state owns the land. Until the state realizes this and begin to do things that will improve the lives of the people via agriculture, will continue to wail. Nigeria run a mono economy. The COVID-19 affected the prices of oil at the international market. We even tried. By now, we're supposed to have been in recession since, but we still tried a little to manage to this time. Right. So let us do things and stop wailing. As for Okoronodo flyover, please, this Julius Berger Wike construction company, I don't understand it. Julius Berger is constructing safe flyover between Orugoro and Usefu in Ughelesa that will do local government area of Delta State. The road is open. People are passing through. Vehicles are passing through. Why they are constructing this safe flyover? But I wonder this flyover Rumokoro that is blocking everywhere, blocking Rumoholu, blocking all access road. I don't understand it. Please open up the roads while you are tackling whatever thing you are doing.
All right, then. Thank you so much. We got your thoughts on that too. Emi Fiahaga, political analyst, adolescent, and adult literacy volunteer. Emmanuel.
Well, certainly Nigerian authorities want the shame of recurrent recession to be lifted off them. Let them indeed diversify the economy and truly diversify it. If not, anytime the international market sneezes, we'll stay here and lie prostrate.
Got your thoughts on that to Emmanuel. Last text from Dara says, I bet you before 2023, Wike would have completed most of his projects, including those involving education, health, agriculture, and employment. Not only flyovers will be completed. Dara from Port Harcourt, thank you so much. And this is where we wrap up on the show. Thank you. Appreciate your being with us. Do stay tuned. And I'll see you tomorrow. But we've got Dave here with entertainment stories. Dave, what's new? The AMA Awards, was it?
It was great. It was great. And some Nigerian artists did well representing us. Burna Boy and the likes. And we're looking forward. Tomorrow the nomination list for the Grammys is coming out.
Whoopee! So stay for all the entertainment stories and more. Stay with Dave.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
got a fetish for my love. Been waiting for a lifetime for.
Listen to Entertainment Today every weekday at 11:30 a.m.
And I'm so
details. Labour leaders walk out of meeting with federal government in Abuja. Zenith Labour Party backs reappointment of Professor Yakubu Mahmood as INEC chairman. Rivers State government announces plans for construction of 7th flyover in Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, a tropical cyclone Gati hits coastal parts of northern Somalia, killing 2 fishermen and injuring 4 others. Stay tuned for the news in detail. The meeting between the federal government and the organized labor on the increase in fuel pump price and the electricity tariff yesterday ended in confusion as the labor leaders angrily walked out of the meeting. The meeting, which was meant to take updates on the implementation of resolutions reached during the 3 previous meetings, ended just 10 minutes after it commenced at the Presidential Villa Banquet Hall, Abuja. As the meeting commenced, the president of the Trade Union Congress, Quadri Olaleye, raised the issue of the latest hike in fuel pump price from 160 to 170 naira per litre, insisting on the reversal of the hike before the meeting can proceed. Olaleye said government is showing a high level of insincerity in discussions with them and is also putting them at the risk with the people they are leading. Similarly, the Deputy President, Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, also said the union had been under attack over the slow pace of implementation of resolutions reached at the meetings with the government. But the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, assured that the issue would be discussed during the business session and asked the media to leave the hall. However, as soon as journalists were out of the hall, Ngige reportedly said the issue of palliatives would be discussed first, while the Labour leaders insisted on discussing the fuel pump price. Following the disagreement, the Labour leaders angrily walked out of the meeting. Speaking outside with newsmen, the NLC General Secretary Emmanuel Ubu Aja said the union leaders stormed out of the session because the government team was not willing to address the latest hike in fuel pump price, which he said violated the understanding they had with the federal government. The meeting had in attendance the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, Minister for Petroleum, Silva Timipri, Minister of State for Labour, Festus Keyamo, and others. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to cut the cost of governance and implement bold transparency and accountability measures in response to Nigeria's second recession in 5 years. The group gave the advice in a letter signed by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare. Sarah blamed the current recession on corruption in the country, adding that the country cannot afford getting back to business as usual. It called on the president to put the country's resources at the service of human rights and to support the less well-off to enjoy an adequate standing of living or standard of living through cutting the cost of governance and implementing bold transparency and accountability measures. Serap said the moves will fast-track the economic recovery process. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says Nigeria needs to stop borrowing to avert sliding into a further recession. Atiku made the assertion in a series of posts on his official Twitter handle in reaction to Nigeria's economic slip into recession. In his statement, Atiku said the nation must stop borrowing for anything other than essential needs, adding that the more the country keeps borrowing, the more it stands the risk of defaulting and the more it will need cash to make interest and principal payments, and the less cash it will have to make necessary investments in the economy and the people. Atiku also called on President Muhammadu Buhari to heed to the patriotic counsel given by himself and other well-meaning Nigerians on cutting the cost of governance. The leadership of the Zenith Labour Party has opposed the litigation against the reappointment of Professor Yakubu Mahmood as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The national chairman of ZLP, Dan Nwanyanwu, who briefed newsmen in Abuja, said his party has been instructed to join in the suit against Mahmood's reappointment with the view to quashing it. Nwayawu, who said Mahmoud has done well since he assumed office, called on the Nigerian Senate to confirm his reappointment without delay.
I've talked about accreditation of voting. I'm talking about the system whereby you vote, political parties and observers will start a place and be seeing the result coming. And we have been assured in the last meeting with INEC that it will improve in Anambra. So tell me why those politicians who do not like reforms, politicians who are used to carrying ballot boxes, writing results with fake result sheets, why should they get into this point? We endorse the reappointment of Mahmoud. We are opposed to any attempt to thwart it, and Zenith Labour Party leadership has been directed to join in the suit with a view to quashing it. So by tomorrow morning, we'll be filing our papers in that suit before Ebo. Senate will be resuming next tomorrow. Zenith Labour Party is calling on the Senate to approve the nomination of Professor Yakub without delay.
The kidnapped chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Nasarawa State, Philip Shekwa, has been found dead. The State Commissioner of Police, Bola Longe, confirmed this to newsmen. The commissioner said the body of Shekwa was found not far from his house in Lafia, Nasarawa State capital, and has been evacuated to the Dalhatu Araf Specialist Hospital.
He was shot at in two places, and we have taken him to Dash morgue for autopsy. And apart from that, we have constituted a team of investigators, homicide investigators. We are going to, by the grace of God, do a thorough professional investigation that we enrad whatsoever led to the death. It's going to be both center down and bottom, approach investigation. We will mobilize the superstructure and the substructure. And even the IG has promised that it will assist us. So by the grace of God, we will get to the, out of the whole episode.
At least 7 soldiers have been feared dead following a landmine ambush in the northern axis of Borno State. The ill-fated soldiers who were on escort duty en route to Baga came upon the landmines planted by suspected Boko Haram members. The insurgents followed up with heavy gunfire on the convoy. The convoy consisted of truckloads of food heading to Baga town of Kokawa local government area. The food supplies were to be distributed to returning internally displaced persons by Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum. Some of the civilians who escorted the food were natives of Baga living in Stadium IDP camp Maiduguri. Soldiers who survived the attack said the terrorists seized weapons and a gun truck. Sources said 7 corpses of soldiers and 1 of CJTF were seen on Sunday morning at Gajiram. Injured persons are being treated at the military hospital in Maiduguri. However, the military is yet to comment on the incident. But spokesperson to Governor Zulum, Issa Gusau, confirmed that neither Zulum nor any component of his detail was part of the attacked convoy. In a statement, he said the governor had successfully completed his mission in Baga, where he spent one night and returned to Maiduguri yesterday. Ogoni youths in Rivers State have called for justice in the killing of a youth from Ogoni identified as Godspell Baraka, who was allegedly shot by a police officer around Abunima Wharf in Port Harcourt. Baraka was alleged to have been shot dead by the police officer during a quarrel between him and the police officer. The president of Ogoni Youth Federation, Legbosi Yamabana, who spoke to our correspondent on the incident, said Ogoni youths are saddened by the development and demanded for justice.
Ogoni youths is saddened to inform the general public of the incessant killing of Ogonis by men of the Nigerian police force. A man known as Inspector shot and killed Mr. Gospel Baraka, an Ogoni son from Guara community, at his duty post at Abonima Wharf at the early hours of today. The said inspector claims he killed Mr. Gospel out of mistake. This is rather saddening and one of too many, at a time where Nigerian youths are calling to an end to police brutality. Ogoni youths therefore demand for justice in this circumstance and give the Commissioner of Police of Rivers State 48 hours to effectuate same.
When contacted, the spokesman of Rivers State Police Command, Nnamdi Omoni, said the DPO in charge of the area has been asked to bring the officer linked to the incident to the State Criminal Investigation Department for investigations. You are listening to the World News at noon on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Please stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
Thank you for staying tuned to the World News at noon on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Welcome back now to the rest of the bulletin. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has declared a 24-hour curfew around Rumokoro in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State with effect from today. Governor Wike said that the decision was taken during a State Security Council meeting due to the increasing cult activities within the Rumokoro area. The governor said the curfew will last for 2 weeks and called on security agents to ensure compliance. He, however, said only workers of Julius Berger PLC who are currently working on the flyover in the area are allowed to move around.
We have repeatedly warned misguided youths that engaging in cultism is abhorrent anti-social behavior in our society. We shall therefore spare no efforts to deal appropriately with anyone who decides to disturb peace and security in our neighborhoods with cult activities and associated violence and killings. As part of measures to tackle this menace, therefore, the State Security Council met today and have agreed to impose a 24-hour total curfew for 2 weeks on the entire area along and around the corner of the flyover up to 1 kilometer radius from St. Emmanuel Anglican Church, Rumokoro, extending to the Rumodomayam Slaughter and local government daily market with effect for tomorrow, Monday, the 23rd of November 2020. Consequently, no form of trading, human or vehicular movement is allowed within the aforementioned restricted areas until further notice. Only staff and vehicles belonging to Julius Berger Nigeria Limited are exempted from the curfew and associated decision on movement, so the construction work on the Okono flyover is not stalled.
The governor, while commending Rivers people for bearing the traffic situation caused by the construction of the various flyovers across the state, announced plans to construct the 7th flyover to join the Ikoku and Azikiwe Road in Port Harcourt.
We wish to thank the people of Rivers State for your cooperation and understanding for the challenging traffic situation you have endured due to simultaneous construction of 5 flyovers in the capital city, Port Harcourt. We wish to further appeal for your understanding for the similar traffic challenges that you may encounter in connection with the ongoing construction of the Orabale flyover, as well as the newly proposed 7th flyover to traverse Ikoku to Azikiwe Street. I assure you the traffic challenges will be temporary, as we have the commitment of Julius Berger to speed up and deliver these jobs with stipulated timelines.
The people of Egbema clan in Ogba Egbema Indani local government area of Rivers State have decried alleged neglect by government and some corporate organizations operating in the area in finding lasting solutions to increasing flooding in the area. The people also complained of what they described as substandard road construction going along Egbema Ibuacha Road, stating that the condition of the road may increase flooding incidents. The chairman of Port Harcourt chapter of Ogbako Egbema, Francis Ifi Igwebuke, who spoke after a forum, called on Governor Nyesom Wike to suspend some of his planned construction of flyover in Port Harcourt and relocate them to Egbema Ibuacha to reduce the level of suffering by the people.
Neglect, yes. As we speak, every year, the Ibocha Bridge, amongst others, that is the only link, gets cut off by the flood every year. And we'll be shouting. Fortunately, Wike, the governor of Rivers State, has awarded contract and the road has gone very far. But you see, the engineers did a very bad job. They did not take into cognizance, they did not study the flood, they did not take into consideration weather changes and environmental changes. They went and built another low bed bridge. And just as they were on site, the flood came and overtook it. So we are requesting, among other things, that Wike should please reduce these flyovers in Port Harcourt and build a flyover from Ibocha to Ebema, because it's an economic point. It's an economic access. People from Borokiri pass through that bridge to Onitsha.
Reacting to the 13% derivation for oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta region, the chairman of Awako, Egbema, said the Egbema people only hear about the derivation without anything to show for it.
We contribute quite a lot to the economic building of this nation, and we get nothing for it. Remember, you are aware we are divided. We call it evil divide. Some in Rivers, some in Imo. But we have thrown away all that. Ebima is now Ebima without bounds. So we want to bring up the socio-cultural values of Ebima and then show people what our fathers were doing. We said the labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. I think that is in the present national anthem. We want to adopt it in order to achieve that objective of projecting Ebima and keeping Ebima on the map of.
On the foreign scene now, tropical cyclone Gati has hit coastal parts of northern Somalia, killing 2 fishermen and injuring 4 others. Reports say the cyclone hit Hafun district in Kaka region, where strong winds damaged some houses. The report also noted that the cyclone has also cut communications and electricity in parts of Kaka as heavy rains continue. The port city of Bosaso is receiving heavy rains accompanied by powerful winds, raising fears that the cyclone might make landfall there. A prominent ally of Donald Trump has urged him to drop his efforts to overturn his loss to Joe Biden in the U.S. presidential election. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie called the president's legal team a national embarrassment. President Trump has refused to concede the election, making unsubstantiated claims of widespread electoral fraud. Many Republicans have supported his legal efforts, but a small and growing number have broken ranks. On Saturday, Trump suffered a major blow in Pennsylvania after a judge dismissed a lawsuit from the Trump campaign seeking to invalidate millions of mail-in votes in the battleground states. In sports, the head of African football, Ahmad Ahmed, has been suspended by FIFA for 5 years because of corruption. Ahmed from Madagascar has been president of the African Football Confederation since March 2017 and was standing for re-election when FIFA banned him for what he termed governance issues. In the statement, FIFA said Ahmed had breached his duty of loyalty, offered gifts and other benefits, mismanaged funds, and abused his position as the CAF president. Ahmed has also been fined $220,000 by FIFA for the misdeeds which related to the organization and financing of an Umrah pilgrimage to Mecca and his involvement in CAF's dealings with a sports equipment company. And now to end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. Labour leaders have walked out of a meeting with the federal government in Abuja. The Zenith Labour Party has backed the reappointment of Professor Yakubu Mahmood as INEC chairman. The Rivers State government has announced plans for the construction of the 7th flyover in Port Harcourt under Governor Nyesom Wike's administration. On the foreign scene, a tropical cyclone Gati has hit the coastal parts of northern Somalia, killing 2 fishermen and injuring 4 others. That was the news as edited by Chinede Wuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 0815 3418657 or 0814-434-3502 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon. I am Kala Dakoribatibo. Stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Today 95.1 FM.
Good morning. My name is Ifeanyi. I'm calling you from. Hello?
Yes, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
My name is William. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, William from Port Harcourt. Go ahead.
Talk radio.
You have a right to say no, right? All right.
I'm calling from Unifor.
Okay, thank you so much for